In this episode of Quick Hacks, we're going to be exploring some things that might help you out with carpal tunnel. So we have a lot of people that come in here complaining of wrist pain. They have a hard time extending. It just radiates down, and they go to the doctor and they're told, oh, you have carpal tunnel. Well, what is carpal tunnel really? Well, you've got these bones that make up your wrist. And those hand bones and the two arm bones come down and they create actually a tunnel for the nerves to come through. That's great. That is your carpal tunnel. Now, carpal tunnel syndrome is when those nerves and soft tissue get so irritated they get inflamed. And they start to expand as they get inflamed, and they push against the tunnel and start crimping against the nerves. Now, it could be something that stems from your neck, because that's where the nerves begin and go down all the way to the little finger on your hand. And they pass right in there. If you have something somewhere in that vicinity that is causing restriction, such as a shoulder or perhaps an elbow or even a stiff neck, it may be that you start feeling something here. Then combine that with a lot of keyboard work or a lot of repetitive motion, doing the same thing over and over, well, then you might develop more of that symptom. But it's just the symptom. It's not necessarily that one day your wrist woke up and said, I want to be inflamed for no apparent reason. There's a reason behind it. Now, we're not going to explore the reasons because there's a myriad of reasons why this could happen, but let's just do a little quick hack. We're going to do a few movements that maybe start to stimulate a little bit more openness in the shoulders, a little bit more space in the neck, a little bit more fluid movement that leads down to that area. So we're not going to do a whole bunch of stretches for the wrist because I don't believe most often that that's where the problem lies. The first thing we're going to do is kind of practice what the body does, or consider the opposite of sitting. I have this step here with a small cushion just for the comfort of my knees, and I'm keeping my knees just maybe one hand width apart so my thighs are parallel. I'm going to walk my hands on out here so that to start with, they're pretty much right above my shoulders. Of course, I'm not going to leave myself in this position because anybody with carpal tunnel is probably not going to feel comfortable doing this because that wrist is in a lot of extension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my elbows down onto that spot. And I'm going to let my arms relax by keeping them palm up. And I want to make sure that the elbows are right under my shoulders from all directions. I'll drop my head downward. And I'll try and allow my head to kind of sink to the ground. Now, as you can see, my hips are slightly forward of my knees. So my whole body's weight here is descending down into my shoulders and upper arms. My shoulder blades begin to fall together. My head that's dropping is about 10 pounds that's pulling gently on my neck, kind of allowing for more space to occur. And as I do this, my chest is opening because my body weight is sinking into it. It's got to lengthen, and I'll feel my shoulder blades kind of start to fall toward each other. I might hold this for about a minute or two, and then after I'm done, I'm going to come up and carefully bring myself back into a kneeling position. With my head hanging low, there's been a lot of blood flow there, so if you have dizzy spells or anything else, you may want to avoid this for the time being. But then for those of you that don't have that, see what that feels like. And when your head is clear and you feel like you can stand again, by all means, go ahead and stand on up. I'm not going to ask you to hunt down the pain in the wrist, but try and do that on a regular basis. And what you might begin feeling is as you're standing, you might feel as if, wow, my shoulders are being pulled back. I'm actually feeling lighter. And you may notice that the symptoms may very well disappear. In the event that you've tried that and they're still kind of there, well, let's try a few other things. The first we call elbow touches, where you're going to curl your fingers in like so, place the first two knuckles, your forefinger and mid finger, right outside the eyes against that soft, fleshy part of the temples. And with the palms face forward, thumbs pointing downward, you're going to sweep your elbows together and apart. Now, what we're really trying to do is keep everything still but the arms. So don't allow yourself to lean forward or backwards as you're trying to do this activity. Just see if you can maintain a nice tall posture and bring those elbows in together. If at first you're unable to bring the elbows in, just keep at it. Keep at it, keep at it, provided there's no pain, and eventually the shoulder girdle is going to unlock, open up, or thaw out. So now you've got this nice fluid motion or hinge-like function of the shoulder, and it could very well unlock a lot of tension that's impinging on a nerve that's running down here. The last one we'll do, we'll call arm cogs, and this is based on the work of Gary Ward in Anatomy and Motion. If you want more information of Gary's work, you can just do a Google search for Anatomy in Motion in the UK. So as you are having your arms out by your side, you're going to rotate one internally while the other one rotates externally. Therefore, one palm rotates toward the ceiling while the other one rotates down and behind you. As you do this, imagine that your arms are like a wash rag and that you're wringing out the tension. And it's not just the arms that are rotating, but it's the shoulders that start to feel the motion of the rib cage draw in. Can you keep the head fairly level and rotate the arms side to side? These are just three components that could very well unlock the neck and shoulder girdle to free up any impingement through those nerves that come down and all the way through the carpal tunnel. Try it out. Let me know how it goes. Before you go, our new book, Return to Center, breaks down everything we did today and a whole lot more. So check it out at rockysnyder.com. Our link is on our page too. If you still haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. Thanks for watching.